Well, hey guys, Dave here, and excuse me for being wet. I've been swimming in my pool. It's about 158,000 degrees here in Texas, but with the planet boiling, I guess that's about normal, so I stay cool in the pool. But the reason I'm making this video is I wanted to first celebrate Trump's fourth indictment. Yay! The MAGA mob has finally been indicted on racketeering charges, which is awesome. But the main reason for this video is, if you watch any of my other videos, you know I'm a total atheist. But what I think is really interesting is, and I find religion very interesting, because the thing that I find really interesting about it is people always say, especially the religious, that everybody else, like, we're asleep and we're sheep. We just follow the cabal or the global deep staters or whatever. But I think it's funny because Jesus himself referred to his followers as sheep. It's like you always say everybody else is asleep, but really you're asleep because you blindly believe stuff that you have no proof for. But what I wanted to talk about is, I think that we're seeing in real time the birth of a new religion, and it kind of reminds me, it's kind of like taking a time machine and going back in time to watch how Christianity was formed. And this new religion, is based around Donald Trump, the MAGA cult. And in the mind of some Trump cultists, I believe they look at him as a messianic figure. I've actually seen those grifting preachers that have said that, and they've written books calling Trump a messianic figure and the Son of Man. And I've seen AI artwork where he's on a cross crucified, and it's really hilarious. But we know that the entire New Testament was written, in some cases, hundreds of years after Jesus supposedly even lived. But the difference with the MAGA cult is their Bible was written in real time. But like the real Bible, it has many failed prophecies, in the form of these Q drops. The Q drops is like the MAGA Bible. And they had all of these prophecies that have never came true. Hillary was never arrested and all these different things. And it reminds me a lot of the failed prophecies of the Bible, when people are saying the world's going to come to an end and making all these predictions, and it never happens. Q was like the prophet, and his drops the new Bible. And just as Jesus was associated with miracles, even though we have no proof of them, just the Bible itself, I see every day on Twitter the Great Awakening AI memes where people are casting Trump in this glorious light. I've seen AI pictures of him with like big, huge muscles and running with lions. And I wonder if maybe back in Jesus' time, if his followers would have had AI, would they have made pictures of Jesus all like punching Roman soldiers and, shooting lightning out of his eyes and all that? Because, the MAGAs, they love to do the laser eyes because they think that's so awesome. And I wonder, could this be how the stories of the miracles sprung up around Jesus? Trump, he's the savior, right? And he's fighting against the cabal, i.e. Satan, to protect the children. Because the children, and I think this is hilarious. Even though I would be considered liberal, I have an 11-year-old daughter. Do you think that I want children to be molested? It's so stupid. Like when I hear MAGA people and Christians say, oh, the people on the left, they're just into pedophilia and all this stuff. No. You're talking about the extreme left people. Do I believe in the trans movement? To be honest with you, I just look at it like this. Live your life. I don't care. But I don't agree with you. Just because I'm on the left doesn't mean that I believe in everything. See, that's the problem with the people on the right, because y'all believe in everything. Y'all are the cultist. Like, there's people that, like me on the left, that I don't worship Biden. I don't wear a Biden hat. there's a lot of things that the left does that I don't agree with. But anyway, so the storm that the MAGA cultists are awaiting is very similar to Christ returning in the great day of judgment. You know, the MAGA cultists, they believe that once Trump returns, this new paradise is going to begin in America. You know, there'll be med beds, which I think that is the most hilarious thing. It was taken from that movie Prometheus. And even the pictures that they use are screenshots from the movie Prometheus. And there's actually people out there that believe that there's this hidden Tesla technology. You know, Tesla was a really smart guy, but he wasn't that smart. And I've heard people say, well, these med beds, you can grow back teeth and you can grow back arms and legs and cure all these diseases. And it makes me wonder, so this is where their ideas like literally fall apart. Because if this technology existed and the elites were keeping it to themselves, why would people that are really rich die? Like Steve Jobs, really rich, he died. You know, there's been a lot of rich people. You can look down in just the past 10 years, people that were extremely wealthy that died. If they had access to this medbed technology, wouldn't they be using it? It's just so ridiculous. You know, I know that people are sick and people need help, but believing in fantasy is not going to fix your problems. You know, and then the other thing is this Nasera and Jacera. And like the streets are going to be paved in gold and everyone will have their own mansion. You know, the funniest thing about Nasera and Jacera is that for people who hate socialism, Nasera and Jacera is pure socialism. You know, I've heard these people say that all your debt is going to be paid off, your house is going to be paid off, and you're going to get all this money because of your birth certificate. It's like, I thought you people hated socialism. Nasera and Jacera is 100% socialism. Paying off everybody's debt just for free, you know, it's ridiculous. It's never going to happen. I'm telling you, I know for a fact it's never going to happen. You know, and Trump has like become this physical manifestation of the invisible God that people have been seeking for over 2,000 years. It's funny because, you know, Jesus warned of false prophets and the Antichrist. And these MAGA people who are so believing in God and Christians, it's like they're so easily led astray. You know, they've been grifted so much. You know, Trump is using their campaign donations to pay his legal bills. You know, Steve Bannon grifted on the wall. And this is what's funny. Like, people name one thing Trump did. Did he lock Hillary up? No. Did he build a wall? No. Did he, make everybody rich? No. Did he did he give this great health care that he always talked about? No. He didn't do anything. All he did was give rich people a $1.7 trillion tax cut. And he actually raised taxes on the middle class. It's like these people are so blinded. It's because they've been like conditioned all these years because of religion to believe in magical thinking. And this is why they believe in such absurd things like the vaccine is activated by 5G with future technology. It's so stupid. It's like the thing that I think is funny is people always talk about all these people dying suddenly. And I'm a nurse. I've been a nurse for like 13 years. I have patients because I still work at the place that I worked at when the COVID stuff started. And I have patients who are in their 90s, who's had all of the vaccines and all of the boosters and are still alive. So you're telling me an old man and an old lady in their 90s can survive the vaccine, but a 20-year-old football player can't? It's like all of your arguments just fall apart. Everything is not a freaking conspiracy. Everything is not a conspiracy. You know, just like these Maui fires. You know, people say that there's these direct energy weapons and they show pictures, but what's awesome about it is you just go to Snopes and all of these pictures, one of the pictures was an oil refinery fire. You can actually tell in the pictures because there's no palm trees. It's freaking trees that in Ohio. It's like regular normal trees. And people believe this. And then one of the lasers, they said, was actually a reverse picture of a Falcon X rocket taking off. It's like these people are so dumb. Everything is not a conspiracy. I know that COVID was scary. I know that climate change is scary. But I think that people, they want to believe in conspiracies because to believe that the real world is so random and that there's no meaning to things scares people. But in reality, there is no meaning to things. Your life has no meaning. Your life only has meaning in what you give it. You know, we're on this teeny little planet out on the outskirts of the Milky Way. We're not the center of everything. It's our own arrogance and vanity that makes us believe that. So it's just, it's really sad. It's really sad. You know, and just because you see stuff in movies, I see them refer to movies all the time. Movies are fiction. And the thing that I think is funny is these people hate trans people, but they love The Matrix. And The Matrix was written and directed by two trans artists. You know, this is what's so funny. Two trans people created the whole fictional narrative that you base your lives around. You base your lives around the ideas of two trans women. It's so ridiculous. You know, but you know, they believe there has to be a plan. God is in control. God is in control. He's not, because he doesn't exist. I know it's scary. And see, that's why I think people have really gravitated, especially Christians have gravitated to Trump, because for 2,000 years they've been waiting Jesus to come back, and Jesus is an invisible God, is an absentee landlord. So when a person like Trump comes along who's very charismatic, you know, the Antichrist, it's like it's a visual representation of the God that they've been looking for, and they're like, he can save me. Instead of pulling up their own bootstraps and they think they're the tough ones, you know, because they got all the guns and stuff. I got guns too, but anyway, they think they're so tough, but really they're not. They're so scared. They need a savior. And you know, one of the things I think is really funny is their where we go one, we go all. Getting back to Nasser and Jassera, where we go one, we go all is a overwhelming socialist statement. I can see that written by Karl Marx because it's about this collective belief, you know, that we're all a part of the same machine, you know, and it's actually a socialist idea. Where we go one, we go all. Let's seize the production of, you know, of the manufacturers, of the ruling elitists. You know, we're the proletariat class. Excuse me, I always mispronounce that word. But, you know, back to 1984 and stuff. But, you know, it's just funny that a lot of Q's beliefs, you know, are socialist in nature. You know, January 6th, I think, was the MAGA cultist version of the temple being destroyed in 70 AD. You know, Trump losing. Like, it was probably the same thing because the Jews, when the Romans destroyed the temple in 70 AD, it probably shocked the Jewish people because they believed that their God was so powerful. And how could this pagan, godless society beat their God and destroy their temple? Well, that's the same thing that happened when Trump lost. Like, the people on the right believe, you know, God is on our side. But Trump lost the election. How can that happen? So that's why they stormed the Capitol. It was this anger because they don't understand that there is no God. And, you know, Trump was probably the most hated president. People always say, how did Biden get 81 million votes? Because the reason why Biden got 81 million votes is because people voted against Trump. Not because they love Biden, because they hated Trump. You know, it's this magical thinking crap of like, if God is on our side, who can be against us? Well, maybe God isn't on your side. You know, and just like the Bible with its failed predictions, the MAGA cultists, you know, they're still waiting for their storm to happen, and, you know, the EVS to announce the Great Awakening, and Trump will once again ascend to power, you know. And, you know, I believe that the only way the MAGA cultists stop is either Trump goes to prison, he dies, or there's a bloody uprising, which, you know, I know people talk about civil war, and I think that's the most funniest thing because Americans are so sick. I'm a nurse. I see it. Americans are so sick. How are you going to fight a civil war when you can't get your blood pressure medicine and you can't get your type 2 diabetic medicine? You ain't going to be able to fight no goddamn civil war. You're too fat. You know? But anyway, I think that in a lot of ways, it may end up leading again to like a Jewish Masada moment. You know, we may have some large MAGA cultist group that tries to do something, and then just like during Masada, you know, when the Jews try to fight back against the Romans, you know, eventually they just all, you know, unalive themselves. You know, when finally they're backed in the corner and reality is slapping in the face. So, you know, maybe they'll go out in a blaze of glory. Who knows? You know, but in 100 years, maybe the Trump time will take on the same type of mythical standard as Jesus. And people be telling their children about this persecuted man, you know, that died for their freedom. And, you know, maybe they'll throw in a few miracles just to spice it up for good measure. But as an atheist, like I said, I find it very interesting, you know. And I think that we're watching, you know, the birth of a new religion, and it's really interesting. You know, if Trump loses in 2024, the MAGA religion may finally die. But if he wins, I think it'll be like Constantine becoming a Christian and the religious takeover of the Holy Roman Empire that in time, you know, it led to the Dark Ages. You know, and I think if Trump wins, it's kind of like that moment happening again. But the one thing that I also wanted to talk about is I love how all of the MAGA people and their little grifter leaders talk about the white hats. You know, they always say the military's in control and Trump is still the president. But their argument falls apart because when you start saying, well, okay, if Trump's still the president, so we blame inflation on him. Oh, no, that's Biden's fault. Well, how can it be Biden's fault if he's not in control? They keep saying Biden's an actor. If he's an actor, who the fuck is he acting for? What the hell is he doing? It makes no sense. It makes no sense, like your stupid religious bullshit about Jesus. It makes no sense. So if the military is in control, how is Tommy Tuberville holding up military appointments if they're in control already? It makes absolutely no sense. If Biden is not the president, how is he sending all this money to Ukraine if Trump is still the president? Your arguments, it's so stupid. It's like everything you say is fake. Like you talk about fake news, you're the fakest news there is. You know? It's ridiculous. Everything you say is a lie. If Trump is still president, why is he being indicted and why is he freaking out? If this was all, you know, they keep saying it's part of this plan, it's part of this plan. There is no plan. There is no plan. This isn't Trump playing 5D chess. There's no such thing as stupid 5D chess. I don't know why people keep saying that shit. You know, there's chess. And, you know, they have that little chest. I've seen that where it's a little stacked up and everything. But it's like you people are like you're grasping at straws. You are the ones that are asleep because you're living in a false reality. The Matrix is not real. Q didn't prophesize nothing. You've all been grifted. It's all fake. Trump is not the president. He's probably going to go to prison. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. You are embarrassing. It's embarrassing. Like to watch these people and their lies. And people believe it. They believe in medbeds and Jacera and Nasera and the EBS and Trump's going to come back and the storm and direct energy weapons. It's so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. It's like, it's the stupidest crap, but this is how religion is. Religion is the stupidest crap too. Like when you read the Bible, and you read about a dude living in a fish and a guy killing 1,000 men with the jawbone of an ass and parting the Red Sea and, you know, 3 days of darkness and the flooding the entire world. It's the same crap. It's so ridiculous. It's just so ridiculous. It's just, I feel sorry for these people. I don't think they'll ever change though. I think that you can't change a person. Once they're in a religious belief system, they're just brainwashed. And they don't realize that they're the sheep. They're the fools. David, Zoe Zizzles, make sure you like and subscribe. Bye.